Alright, so in this video we're going to be talking about how to use Google Forms, Zapier, and Gmail to help automate your deal analysis. If you are a wholesaler, if you're a flipper, if you're a realtor who finds leads for flippers, this is a cool tool to kind of help you analyze not only repair costs, but also your holding costs quite quickly. And when you're with a seller, you can focus more of your energy, more of your conversation with that seller and get them an offer while you are with them, right? That's the key thing, is kind of maintaining that relationship, maintaining the focus on the person you're with, less on the numbers. But of course, you're gonna get eaten on the numbers if you don't do it right. So we're gonna show you how we built a Google form and give you a sample of it as well. The sample is not really to help crunch your own numbers because we're making a lot of assumptions on those numbers, so be aware of that. But it'll at least give you a feel of what we're doing and kind of help you reverse engineer it. So this video will be a little tutorial to walk you through that process. And this is the Google form that we're looking at, and this Google form is going to help you estimate your repairs and automatically calculate a lot of your holding costs, resale costs. Holding costs and resale costs could be things like property taxes, utilities, lawn care, insurance. You got your resale costs like loan, interest from using hard money. I'm making assumptions on what you can get approved for or find in your area. And then also appraisals, surveys, etc. So don't rely on these numbers, but illustrative purposes, it gives you a breakdown in the email on how those numbers come out, and you can create something just like this super easy. Google Forms is free, Zapier is just 30 bucks a month. Everyone can afford this, okay? Awesome, so here I made a Google form. I have an email. If you're gonna wanna give a sample here, you'll type your email in here. The property address to help you keep track of what one it is. The square feet, the after repair value, so you're going to need to be able to run comps to fill this in, and then the amount of profit you want to make on that deal, right? You can just select it. The estimated number of months that you're going to hold that property to do not only the repairs but also resell that in your market, and then repair estimate per square foot. So if you know how to do, for example, okay, let's say flooring and paint is all it needs. Well, it could be just $10 a square foot. You just type 10 in here and hit next, and you skip everything else. And it's going to send you an email telling you what you could offer on that property. Okay, it's super quick, super slick. Now, if you want a more breakdown, you could go into some things like demo, electrical, plumbing, and maybe it gives you some breakdowns and ideas of what you can find here in the Houston, Texas market, what we've seen here. So it goes through all the different categories of different things. You'll fill out your repairs. Step 2 is your exterior stuff. You'll fill out your repairs, landscaping, fence, so on and so forth. And then you would submit that Google form, and the result is it gives you an email saying exactly what the breakdown is of the costs and also what you could offer on that property. So the idea being, you're walking around with the seller, it's fairly easy to keep track of, like, okay, here's this, here's this, here's this. It can be a cheat sheet if you don't know your repairs, to quickly look in there and figure out how much certain things cost, enter it in, carry that conversation with the seller, and just wait maybe 5-10 minutes for that email to come that has that offer. Cool. All right, so this Google sheet, we linked it into this Google form, we linked it to a Google sheet, and you'll see that here in Google Sheets it's already linked. There's always an option there to create your sheet. This is an idea of what that sheet looks like, and it just basically dumps data in here. Every time you fill out a form, it puts a new line of data and fills out all the numbers that you put in there. We created another sheet over here that did a lot of our calculations. For example, I need to calculate what is my points going to be on the loan. So I make a calculation in here, simple Excel function, and it gives me a number, okay? Now that I have all those numbers, it's not very legible or usable. It's not very user-friendly to pull up on a phone when I'm with a seller, right? So I want an easy, no-brainer output to give me these things. So what we do to do that is we use a tool called Zapier. And Zapier is awesome. It helps you automate all sorts of different processes. You can use it to pull leads from a website, for example, into a CRM automatically. But I created a Zapier, which is like purchase price email, right? And it's 2 very simple steps. We have one, and I'm going to edit this Zap to give you visibility on what we did, right? but I have a new or updated spreadsheet row in Google Sheets, right? So when I connect it to that sheet that I created, I'm going to make sure I have my account in there. I'm gonna have purchase costs, so on and so forth. I'm gonna tell it which tab to pull from, and then what is the trigger. So in this case, if I have a new property address, I want this Zap to run. So it's going to be constantly looking for property address, and if I have a new one, it's going to then trigger the workflow. It pulls data from that sheet, which helps you kind of verify that, yeah, it's actually working. And then you're going to continue with the selected record onto your email step. In your email, you're going to connect it to your email account, make sure it's done correctly, and then you're going to do the to field. Now remember, in that email, or in the Google form, it says enter your email. So what I did is I select the field from the Google Sheet that it should populate this, and that's who it's going to email this to, right? It's going to copy me, and then I have the subject, which is suggested price for X property. This is going to help you find it later. Like, let's say that seller calls you 5 days later. You need to quickly look up their address and find what you offered and what were the costs, etc., that went into that. And now I create a simple email, right? Hey there, based on the inputs on your provided deal purchase for this, the price should be X. And again, those are all calculations that came off that Google Sheet. Repairs are this, loan points are this, interests are this, so on and so forth. So this kind of is just to help give you visibility. You make this how you want, but I think you're getting the idea here. You're drafting up the email, and then you're just populating with fields from that Excel sheet, which is just super powerful to help you get a quick analysis on this deal and crunch some numbers. So that's really it. Anyone can build this. I'm not a developer. You don't need to know how to develop, but the goal here is to help you analyze deals easier. So enjoy the tool, give it a try, run a few numbers, and try building your own. And I think you'll find it very useful when you're going into talk with sellers.